Welcome to the hottest grappling show in Arizona. The Valley is home to an amazing grappling community. Join us as we roll through the top jiu-jitsu schools in the state. Our goal? To highlight incredible instructors, their academies, and their amazing journeys through life and jiu-jitsu. It's not the destination, it's the journey that counts. Welcome to Rollin Through the Valley.
What's up, guys? Sills here, rolling through the valley. Here we are, Fluid Martial Arts, and with me is John T. Burns, head instructor. John, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
So nice having you on the show. If it's okay with you, I'd like to ask you a couple questions to get to know you a little bit more and this lovely academy.
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit more about Fluid Martial
Arts.
Arts.
I started in the martial arts when I was really young, and I started in karate and kickboxing, and I went all through my high school, teenage years, up into college doing karate and kickboxing. I did some wrestling in high school, and once I was in college, I found a martial arts school that I started teaching at. I was just teaching as an assistant instructor, and then we started having a jiu-jitsu program. And that jiu-jitsu program started one day a week. We were bringing out a jiu-jitsu instructor, and I was learning. I was a white belt, and I was just having fun with it. And then eventually it expanded into more classes, and then I grew as an instructor, and eventually I left that academy and decided to open my own academy, which is Fluid Martial Arts. When we first opened, we were kind of like half and half, like half karate, kickboxing, half jiu-jitsu. Now I'd say we're about 80% jiu-jitsu and about 20% kickboxing and striking arts. So that's kind of our
And tell me a little bit more about the name, Fluid Martial Arts.
So the name, there's two meanings to the name. The first one is it comes from the concept of flowing like water. Being able to identify different elements of different arts that fit and suit your needs, and using those to create your own style. And so for myself, I train in multiple disciplines. I train in jiu-jitsu, judo, karate, kickboxing, and so I always wanted to be able to kind of intertwine and flow those together. The other thing is the very first black belt I received was in Kempo Karate. And in Kempo Karate, they give you a code, which is a Japanese character, or I'm sorry, Japanese kanji that means something. And my kanji was fluid because of, according to my instructors, my ability to kind of flow between the different styles and arts. And so that's where the name comes from.
So tell me more about how you run your classes. Is it just you? Do you have other instructors? Tell me more about that.
Well, what we do is we have one main instructor on the class, which is usually myself, especially when we're working with the kids. And then we have a variety of assistant instructors. The way we start the class is we bring everyone together in the beginning, and then throughout the class we sort of differentiate instruction, where some of the students will be working on more fundamentals, where other students will be working on a similar concept but in a much more advanced way. When we get into the adult classes, all of our adult classes are mixed levels, all levels. We're a slightly smaller academy, so we don't have quite as many high-ranking students as some of the other larger academies do. So most of our students are within the white, blue, purple range, and we mix those levels together. I have my sons help me run my classes. They're both adult students. They're in their 20s. Purple belts, and they assist me with all of our new students. They help us in the kids' classes. So we just have a really great staff here that just keeps everything running for us as well.
So you've been doing this a really long time. I'm sure you've seen lots of changes in your students. Tell me, what have you seen? How has jiu-jitsu changed their lives?
I have seen so many different changes. I've seen people go from being somebody that's not as healthy as they'd like to being super fit. I've seen people come in with very low confidence and building their confidence up, feeling that they can take care of themselves. I've seen introverted people come in that are kind of quiet and to themselves, open up and become the life of the party, so to speak. Martial arts has changed so many people's lives in so many ways. I always tell people, and you hear this a lot, that martial arts saved my life. And I can say in more ways than one that it's saved mine, and I've seen it save other people's lives, not just from protecting themselves, but from keeping youths out of trouble, helping people just to become more confident and more excited about who they are as an individual. So I just can't say enough good things about it.
How has jiu-jitsu changed your life specifically?
Man.
Big
So,
question, I know.
so yeah, so coming up from as a martial artist, and this is not to speak negatively towards any of the other arts that I've ever trained in, but I grew up training originally in karate, and I had this huge idea that I could really protect myself no matter what happened. And then I got taken down, and it was like, whoa, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to protect myself. All the punches and kicks in the world don't matter. And it was suddenly like a very self-realization that all of this training, all of the time that I had spent thinking that I was going to be able to protect myself was for naught. I'm not saying that I don't believe in striking arts by any stretch, but it opened my eyes and made me realize that, especially me as a smaller individual, having jiu-jitsu in my life helped me to understand that I'm not as tough as I thought I was. I'm not going to be the biggest, the strongest, the most powerful person in the room. There are very real levels to the game, and people that come in and have a lot of skill, there's always other people that have a little more skill. And then once you get to that level, there's somebody that has even more skill. So there's always room for growth. There's no room for a large ego. So for me, it just, man, it just helps me to keep honest, to stay honest, to keep my ego in check, and just to help me to try to continue to grow as a person.
What is your overall take on competition? Do you feel like everyone should compete, or?
You know, I feel that everybody should, if they even think they might want to compete, they should at least try it once. I don't think every single person has to compete in order to be successful in jiu-jitsu, but it's such a challenge, and it's such a good way to gauge where you're at and how you're growing. It's also, from my experience, the closest you can get to live combat. Obviously, we can talk about MMA, kickboxing, any of the live arts in that way, but specifically Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competition, if you're a Jiu-Jitsu practitioner, to me, it's the closest you can get to live combat. And that says a lot of things. Number one, it's fun. It's fun, it's exciting, but it also gives you an opportunity to test it. So if you do, hopefully you never get attacked in the street, but if you do, you'll have more close opportunities, right? Or you'll have more experience where you've had close opportunities to react in that way. The other thing for me is that when I first started competing, I was terrified. Once again, I came from another martial art background where it was not nearly as much contact. It was not nearly as much force, right? When we're talking karate competition. In jiu-jitsu, you're standing across from somebody who's trying to break your arm, trying to choke you to sleep. Right. It's very real. And if you don't take it seriously, you can really get injured. So because of that, to me, it's something that it's something that you have to prepare for, you have to take seriously, but at the same time, any of the amazing coaches and instructors in the Valley can help people get prepared for it. And I think it's an incredibly empowering thing to be able to say, hey, I went out there and I went to battle with somebody, and you know, we gave it our all, and at the end we high-fived and hugged, we walked off the mat, and everybody was better for it. So.
Now, let's say somebody's on the fence, they're walking by fluid martial arts, but they're intimidated, they don't know what to do, like, should I try it out, should I not? What would you say to this person?
I would say come in and talk to our instructors, talk to our students. If you don't feel comfortable with interrupting or catching somebody's attention like an instructor, walk over to one of the parents sitting on the sideline or one of the people, just, hey, I see that you guys train here. Can you tell me a little about the gym? I'd recommend that with any academy. I know so many instructors here in Arizona that I know it's intimidating. I know it's scary. You see these people inside, you know, trying to choke each other, trying to throw each other, and it's like you're not sure if you want to be a part of that. I can say from experience, if you walk into an academy and they make you feel anything less than what you are, if they make you feel bad about yourself, if they make you feel uncomfortable, just turn around and go out the other way. There's so many other academies that'll build you up. There's so many other academies that are going to help you become, you know, amazing person that you can become. And honestly, so many of those instructors I know, and so it would be hard to find a bad academy here in Arizona. So.
All right, so where can people find you?
You can find, yeah, obviously we're here in Tempe. We're on Southern and McClintock on the northwest corner. And we're right next to Planet Fitness and behind McDonald's. So, but you can also find us online at fluidmartialarts.com. You'll have our schedule there, information about our classes, and contact information. So if anybody has any questions or anything like that, they can email us and we can help them out and give them any information that they want. Awesome. Yeah, and just stop by and say hi to us. If you're from another academy and you want to just drop in for an open mat or a roll, you're more than welcome to. So
definitely check these guys out. Thank you so much for your time. So nice meeting you.